Oh, I got my truck towed yesterday.
What happened?
On purpose?
It
On purpose,
dropped into limp mode.
not for any of the reasons
Was
you
your
think it would
do
be.
you have DEF? No, you haven't. You guys had deleted, right?
No.
Yes,
I
he
was
has
still
death
on-
fluid.
Yeah, I've
You
got
have the
death.
fluid. Did the filter get clogged?
No, it wasn't. It
I told
wasn't.
you, nothing you'd expect.
It
to be.
was the EGR.
Really?
So I'd had an engine light and it was popping hot for the EGR, and I'd lost some acceleration power, and I was like, okay, I know what's wrong. I just need the weekend to get here so I can take
Take
the
it.
time to pull it and clean it, because it took 4 or 5 hours total.
to change it. Yeah,
And most of that was just soaking time.
yeah. It was just the
Um,
cleaning it out.
yeah, and but apparently that's a big no-no for the truck. And when they go into limp mode for the Rams nowadays, they do it hard. It's
They
not
do.
35 miles, 45
No.
miles. No, it's 10 miles.
Yeah. It's,
Your 1,000 RPM is like 550.
We definitely had a few Dodge fire trucks that would go into limp mode, and we're just snail crawling.
And
we'd have to get a second vehicle to respond because there's no way this one's even making it there.
and this just goes into the evils of emissions control.
I hate him.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Let me
I-
do whatever I want to do with my car.
I
We don't even
hate
enforce it.
them
Yeah.
moving.
I hope we never do that.
I hate them moving the goalposts. I hate them without it going through elected officials.
So pause right there. You saw Texas is getting rid of
Temporarily inspections.
Yes.
So that way we can add
Yes.
emissions testing.
Is that what it's for?
So we can add emissions testing. And in 2027, we're throwing what in here now? All the diesels,
Yeah,
all
the
your
diesels.
heavy diesels are now getting taxed heavier.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a heavy diesel? If
I
it's
just-
a farm truck, even if it's a work truck, boom, taxed more.
I just saw that Cummins took a deal from the Department of Energy. They took like a $1 billion pay incentive to develop electric motors for industrial application.
Oh,
That was from Cummins. That was a Cummins,
So I
Cummins
know what
article.
you're talking about. At least one of the articles I read, very similar. Might have not been the same, but it's the same way. I have eTorque truck, and
What is
they're
it?
getting rid of, because we talked about it. They're getting rid of the alternator and throwing a electric motor in it. That way you get to the power faster, which has potential to help diesels start up. You don't have to wait for it to warm up.
You don't have to wait for it to warm up now. As a matter of fact, they
Oh.
tell you not to wait for your truck to warm up.
Well,
That it's actually bad for it now.
They
interesting.
tell you as with a diesel not to wait for your truck to warm up.
Yep.
Does that apply in cold climates? Because you guys got glow plugs. You don't have spark plugs.
I think they're using something on the newer diesels. I think they're using something other than glow plugs now.
Wow.
That's interesting. I'll have
That
to look
is-
into
yeah,
that.
Because it does. I was like, it specifically says it in the manual. You don't wait for it to warm up.
I know Dodge and Ram are specifically looking at every fine line they can touch as much as possible. Like they have a minivan with a Hellcat engine in it, a Elephant engine in there.
Yeah.
It's like, but they're looking at a very fine line of what they need to push for all this emissions and energy. It was like,
I mean-
okay, well, if I throw an electric motor in, does that help?
There is an idle shutdown in my truck.
Yep.
And I do not have the ability to turn this off.
Really?
And I desperately, if I could find some aftermarket way or something like that, because the thing is that like I travel with my dogs all the time. Well, I leave them in the truck and I lock the door. Well, now I've got to be back. I've got to make sure
In
I'm
10
back
minutes?
within 15 minutes,
15 minutes, yeah.
or else the truck's gonna shut off.
I have a
And then someone's gonna bust my window open.
I have a question. I remember when we talked about this last time, Mike, it was off camera because I mentioned to you a few aftermarket shops that work on specifically the Cummins and they can delete a lot within it.
Yeah.
You told me that you wanted to wait for your warranty to expire because I know once they dig into it, your warranties, it voids everything
Yeah.
about your warranty. Was that true? Right? Okay. Well, so what? How many more miles do you have before your warranty goes out?
I think it's
I
already
think
out.
you
Oh,
just recently
Yeah, I think
went
I
out.
recently ran out.
okay.
Because your warranties
there's-
cover like your cold air,
But
your filters.
now I'm not sure if I want to do deletes, because now we're doing the Texas emissions control shit, and
depending where it falls,
yeah, depending on where that falls in, I don't want
to have to re-put the stuff back in.
because that's going to end up being very expensive.